People, welcome back to the channel again. So this is, arguably the biggest game of the summer. We have Spain taking on England, um, and I just, this is the game where I see Spain comfortably probably winning. Just because I think that, like, honestly, they have been the best team so far. Um, I think today England will have to really be on it. Like, England will have to really pull something special out to actually win this game. But I don't know, with the way Spain have been this whole tournament, I think they're looking like the most likely team to win it, honestly. So I hopefully it's going to be a very good game. So the we're just gonna look at the starting lineups real quick. You have Spain, you have England. Unai Simon starts for Spain. Cucurella, Laporte, Lenormand, Carvajal are the four defenders Spain are going with. Ruiz, Rodri, your two midfielders. You got Dani Olmo playing the 10, Nico Williams on one side, Yama on the other, and Alvaro Morata starts up front. For England, they're looking like they're lining up in a 3-4-2-1 formation. Gahey, Stones, Kyle Walker. You got Saka, Kobe Mainu, Declan Rice, Luke Shaw as your four. And you got Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham, and Harry Kane. Again, England looked to be set up really defensively. And hopefully that midfield is not overrun, because I know Kobe Mainu can essentially hold his own in that midfield. I mean, so can Declan Rice, but with the way Spain is set up, with Dani Olmo potentially dropping down into midfield, supporting the midfield, and I mean, if they have also like another option of tucking Cucurella into midfield as well, so he becomes one of the holding midfielders with Ruiz potentially pushing up front. So they really could overcrowd that midfield area. Um, and it's going to be honestly the the biggest threat for Spain to me happens to be the three guys playing behind Morata, because Almo can give you a goal. And I said this from the moment he came into that team. I said we're almost starting this, with Pedri going out, Almo coming in, the drop of quality was essentially non-existent, only because he gives you something different from Pedri. Almo is the guy that will chip in with a goal, with an assist, um, and it's kind of turned out to be the same way. I think he has 3 goals, 2 assists in about 3 games or so. So Almo and Yamal for me would probably be the danger man in this game. I mean, yeah, Nico Williams has had a good tournament, but I think Olmo and Yamal have had a much bigger impact for Spain. I mean, for England, it's been a reliance on moments. Jude Bellingham having his moments. Declan Rice not really been, he's not really shown that much of quality, but you've had Jude. He's shown in moments. You've had Harry Kane has had his moments. Bukayo Saka has already had his moments as well. And, even Ollie Watkins, who's not starting this game. And I think that will be like one of the biggest things too in this game, only because Kane occupies so many deep positions and you really don't have that outlet up front. Um, so I really don't know how this game is really going to pan out for England. I mean, Spain, we kind of know it's going to be possession, try to hit you on the counter with Williams and Yamal on the wings. And the dangerous thing about Spain also is that they have that end product. It's not just doing that for doing sake. They do have goals all throughout that team. Morata hasn't really kicked on but he hasn't really had to because you have Rodri who can step up with a big goal, Ruiz who can step up with a goal, Nico Williams can step up with a goal. We already know about Almo. Yamal steps up with the assist. So this is going to be a very big game. But I still tip Spain to be the slight favorites for this game, but I would not rule out England at all. So while we're here, what time is it? About another 11 minutes or so. Actually, no, about like another 21 minutes or so for this game to start. So I'm going to see what transfer rumors we have um, out there. Let's see. Let's see what they're saying. Um, let's see what's been happening. Um, so United have completed the signing of Xerxes, and I think that is a good signing. My only fear though is that like when you look at Hoyland and you look at Xerxes, it's are you getting anything different? I think potentially with the Xerxes, you're getting more of an all rounder who can do a bit more than just being stagnant. Um, but at the end of the day, it's more about more of a goal output, only because they had a minus like a negative goal differential last year. So I think for me, if the rumors about them trying to sign um, Ivan Tony are true, then that I could definitely see United definitely finishing in the top four for sure. I can see them finishing if they can get Ivan Tony in, because I just don't know if Xerxes can really be that extra bit of push. I think is a nice player, but I just don't see how he makes that much of a difference. But again, with someone who is an all-rounder who has the ability to, bring others into play, he doesn't need to just be one dimensional. I think one of the biggest criticisms of Hoyland was he never figured out another way to, play against defenders. So I think with Xerxes coming in, he gives you that extra bit of like the gameplay. He gives you that extra bit of just being able to bring others into play, hold up play, create some chances for himself and others. And I think that was like the biggest criticism of Hoyland last year, that he didn't really step up. So I think they're definitely making big moves. I mean, if they're able to sign um, Euro and they're able to also get De Ligt in, then boy, it's and they do sign Ivan Tony as well. Then I think it's going to it's going to be very interesting next season. I know when it comes to Chelsea, we're still interested in Williams, and we still have how Fabrizio put it. They're still what's the nice phrase he puts. He would say things like they're still aroused by Williams, or it's just wordplay essentially. We can't afford the guy, and even if we wanted to, he would have to take a wage cut. Nobody wants to do that for a team that doesn't really seem to have their shit together. So um, it's going to be a very interesting. And honestly, with Williams, I like if he asks for something that's like 250, do I think it's worth it? No, not really, because I just don't think he has shown that much in terms of just like playing for Bilbao, and he's looked good in the Euros. He's looked good, but sorry. Um, but yeah, guys, I'll be right back. Let me go fix my. All right, people, we're back. We're back again. But I was saying about Williams. I think, yeah, he's talented enough. He has good potential. I just don't see the I just don't think it's worth it. I just don't think it's worth it. And especially, if like for time, if people are criticized for just investing into players who had a good run in tournaments, then this would be like a perfect example. Like, when you hear of the Williams that played for Bilbao, for the most part, it used to be his older brother. Yes, his older brother has played for Bilbao for years and years, but it's just for what he will give your team. I just don't think that amount of money is worth it. I think you can actually spend that 250 you could get for Williams onto like a goal scorer. Give me a Tony. Listen, you want to go to Aston Villa, see if they'll take some money for Ollie Watkins. Like, give me a finisher. With the Williams, in as much as like he's an exciting player, I just don't think like he is the guy to really bank a lot of your hopes on. He's a nice, tidy player, but I don't think he is that bigger. Like he's that big of a difference. So no, I wouldn't waste the money on Williams. Me personally, I wouldn't. Give me Tony, give me Watkins, give me a goal scorer, give me a good goal scorer, and I think we're good. Give me a good scorer, and I think we're good. I'm gonna try to get the stream up now. And I think there were a few rumors that came out about Conceição, and that's like one of those poor. That's very. It's a terrible link. Like he did not even look as impressive for Portugal when he came in during the Euro. So I don't even see why there'll be interest in that. Like it doesn't really do much for us. And also like the position he occupies, we already have Cole Palmer that occupies that space. So there's no reason why you should be looking to sign Conceição when you already have Cole Palmer, you already have your Noni Madueke, and then in 2025 you have your Esteval Williams and Kendrick Paez is coming in. And I say that only because does Conceição move the needle? No, that'll just be one of those other signings. It's just a waste of money, really. Um, it's really not needed. So that's a link for me that should not even be. It shouldn't be like even looked at. Just like I said, give me a goal scorer because our biggest problem last year was scoring goals. Right? It was scoring goals. So why not address that particular area? In as much as Jackson scored a few amount of goals, like he scored some good goals. He had like 20 GNA in total. I think about 18 goals potentially. And I think that's like an area you should look to improve on, not the Conceição's, definitely not like Williams. Yes, will add a different dynamic to your team, but for the price that it might cost you, I don't think it's worth it. I really don't think so. I'm trying to see any other interesting news. Now, like, so with the transfer window as it's been open, you've seen so far the club has signed Tosin on a free, Drewsbury Hall, I think Omari Kellerman, Mark Gill. Who else did we sign? Like these are definitely not like options for the now. And even though it's kind of slightly disappointing that we're not able to see people being signed in for the here and now because it looks like that's something we need. We got to remember, like last year we had an extreme high number of injuries. Like I think we had, and not just the number, but to like the key players. Because if you look at the people that weren't really available for majority of the season, you have one of the best right backs in world football in Reece James, and he barely was fit. You have Wesley Fofana, and I think people used to forget that Fofana was that guy before we signed him from Leicester City. Like if you watch that FA Cup final that we lost to Leicester, he was immense, and just not even in that game, but that season in general. Fafana coming to the English league, and when he really made his breakthrough with Leicester, like he was a monster. Like this guy had the potential to really be one of the best defenders in the league, and unfortunately, we've not been able to see like a lot of his potential and his ability. But this is another guy we have who is coming back into the first team, and he's fit right now. He's taking part in preseason. Um, so I think this would be one of those guys who looks like a new signing. So you got Reece James, Fofana, Carney Chukwuemeka barely played yet last year because he was out, just injured for the most part. Lavia and Christopher Nkunku. These are five big team players, five that we really barely got to see a lot of. And like even though once, the few games we saw Christopher Nkunku in, we could just see the quality immediately. Like whenever he played, whenever he touched grass, he just looked like the best attacker we have at the club. Now, yes, granted, he's been struggling with fitness for a while, but that's the biggest thing. Like if you can get at least 25 to like 29, 30 games out of Christopher Nkunku for this season, I think we could really do well because this is a guy that could give you at least like 10 goals. Even just in the Premier League, I think this guy can get you 10 goals. Like how many points would those 10 goals potentially win you? Even if it was like 5, 6 points, right? Even if it was 5, 6 points, I think those are crucial points. Those make the difference between top four and being like in the Europa spots. Because 10 goals from Nkunku, you win us a few games, or we tie a few games that we shouldn't have lost. Now the whole complexion looks a lot different. And then you also have Lavia, who we only saw one game of Lavia last year. And prior to us signing him, he was one of those like really sought after, defensive midfielders. You have this guy in your team. Now all of a sudden you look like you have balance. And I think the biggest thing or like the biggest addition Lavia can do or add to this team is just with his defensive nous and his ability to just like cover space and just help your team push up a lot higher. You're able to then commit more players forward. You're able to play more attacking options instead of having to worry too much of your defensive coverage. Because if you can have your Lavias again, yes, he's not been fit. We've never seen the best of Lavia, but if we want to look at just his experience in the league and just like how he did the season before joining Chelsea. He was like one of the best defensive midfielders in the league. So if we're again, you can't really go by that, but sometimes you just have to look at the potential ability that he could bring to the team that we've lacked. And with someone like this in your midfield, you really can commit more bodies forward. You know, you can create a few more chances. You don't have to worry about being exposed. So I think like these are 5 players that we're having back into the first team. 5. And that's, you know, a lot of teams need about 4 or 5 players to kind of like just what's the word, to kind of freshen up their attack, right? You look at the likes of like Man United. Man United, I feel like they need some midfielders in that team, just because, yeah, you still have Bruno, but you need more quality. Like the you look at United's midfield right now, you can only mention Kobe Manu, and that's a problem. Like we don't even know if they're going to sign Sofian Amrabat on. Um, people want to see McTominay gone. So it's just you look at this midfield and you have Lavia, Enzo, Caicedo. You still have Conor Gallagher. You still have your Andre Santos. You have your Drewsbury Hall. I mean, again, this doesn't sound like a midfield that could win you a league, but this should be enough to get you into like European competitions. And I'm talking minimum Europa League, and if you're really thinking max with what we have this year, you could be in the top 4. Top 3, probably not. But again, that's even still possible. When you look at your Arsenal, your Man City, and potentially your Liverpool, these are the 3 teams that right now are, you know, they're the standard, right? But even with Liverpool, I think for me, honestly, I think Liverpool have been able to do so well for the last 7, 8 years because Klopp just brings out a different output in the players. I think you can have fairly average players, but with good coaching, you can really mask a lot of their flaws and you can really highlight a lot of their strengths. And I believe Klopp was, I don't know, it's just his man management. He was able to get the last ounce of quality in every player that, he coached. Like, if you look at your Curtis Jones, you look at your Harvey Elliott's, these guys don't start for none of the big teams in the Premier League, like the top 6. They don't really start for a lot of these teams. Like, I don't think Harvey Elliott starts in Arsenal's midfield. Curtis Jones doesn't start in Arsenal's midfield. They don't even start in Man City's. I don't think they even see bench. They start for Liverpool because Liverpool just didn't have those options. They didn't have the coverage. So you see the likes of your Curtis Jones, your Harvey Elliott's, and they look good in Klopp's system because Klopp just has that X factor. He's just that guy who can make his team like the scariest in Europe. Like with that team he had with like your Mane, your Salah, your Fabinho, and Henderson, that team was frightening. But I think they were a lot more frightening because they had Klopp as a coach. Now that he's gone, I think Liverpool are essentially back to square one because Arne Slot is just a different, he's a different kettle of fish to Jurgen Klopp. So I think even Liverpool, they're not guaranteed that 3rd spot because now you look at Spurs, they've had an extra year of being, now they've had the experience of playing under Ange. And if Spurs can get a few, good signings in, then I think it's really long for Liverpool. So I don't think the Liverpool, like just where they are currently, I don't think it's going to be that big of a distance for the other teams to catch them. But we will see, man. Honestly, I think you know Arsenal definitely will be up there challenging again. If can they win it? That's another question for tomorrow. Only because just Man City just look like they're going to always win. That's the problem with that. Man City always looks like they're always going to win, They look like if they start slow, but they still come back up and they still clean up house at the end of the day. So we'll see how next season goes. But I think it should be excited. It should be a very interesting, entertaining season. I would like to see where the likes of Chelsea, Man United, where we finish up. And I think after the Euros, and also the Copa Americas tonight. So I think after these two games are done, we're probably going to see a lot of like movement in the transfer market. I think the big teams are going to be busy, and we'll see how that goes. I think a lot of the big teams are definitely going to be busy, so that should be good. The game's about to start. England, Spain. My money still is on England, by the way. My money's still on. Sorry, my money's still on Spain. I think Spain have been the better team. Spain are going to be the better team. But again, for me, it's a win-win situation. If England win, someone in my team has a European medal, European trophy. That just bodes well for the team because now they have that experience of winning, what it feels like, and that could be something that just it's transferable throughout the team because now you have a different standard. You've been there, you've won it, now you want more, and that could be a motivator. So, people, the game's about to begin. It's Spain against England, Euro 2024 final. Who's going to take it? Let's see. It's kickoff now. Um, I think the first 10 minutes are going to give us an indication of how the game is going to go. I'm going to see what the pattern is going to be like. But this should be an interesting game. We're going to do the live. We're going to do the watch along again for the Argentina game as well. Hopefully, Argentina can win that as well. So that should be good. All right. My question will be: Are England going? I mean, England do look like they're going to try to hit Spain on the counter. For me personally, but again, it's like you don't really have that outlet when it comes to hitting Spain on the counter. So I think this just makes for a different fight. But Spain are most likely going to have a lot of the ball. They're going to have a lot of the possession. Switch, good ball to Yamal, but intercepted by Shaw. Spain win the ball. Spain win possession back. Neymar with the ball to cover Al. He's looking a little cagey right now. Looking like he doesn't really know what he wants to do when he's received the ball. But it's only been 2 minutes into the game. And it's understandable. Nerves are high. I mean, this is the highest potential stake you can have. Every mistake could be punished. Every mistake can be highlighted. You know, you want to win it for your nation. You don't want to be the guy that actually loses it for their nation. So um, players are going to be a bit nervous, but I think once they do set it into a pattern, I think we're going to see a bit more quality. And if this game does happen to end up like one of those other big games we've seen during this tournament, then it's going to be a very snooze and slow um, game. And those have just been kind of hard to watch just because they've been slow and boring for the most part. But Spain building up with Cabal to Morata, just a weird. Morata is just an interesting striker. I think Spain could have definitely went with a different option for the number 9 position. Um, because I really haven't seen much of his quality throughout this tournament. Has he even scored a goal? I'm not sure, but it's just sometimes when you play the ball to your number 9 or your forward, you want the ball to stick, and more times than not, he just kind of loses possession or he does something really um, weird, and Spain are back on the back foot, but and just like that, Spain have the ball back. Jude Bellingham looked like he was about to break, but not really that many options in front of him. Laporte to Nomad. And you have Olmo just in the half spaces, just waiting to cause damage. Now Williams, I think Williams has his first touch of the ball now. I think that was a dangerous cross. And Spain have a corner. It's about 5 minutes into the game. It's 0-0. Um, should be an interesting game. Spain attacking with Cucurella. Cucurella's had a very good tournament, by the way. He's had a very fine tournament. He's been one of the best defenders in this competition right now. He's had a good tournament. He's had a really good tournament. Laporte with the ball, Spain. It's about 6 minutes in. Yeah, slow build up, patient build up from Spain, trying to pull England all over. I really think Southgate should have played somebody else than Harry Kane. I know he's a captain, but this is one of those games you play either an Ivan Tony or you play a Ollie Watkins, because when you soak up this much pressure and you need that outlet to kind of stretch the field for you, you ain't got that option in Harry Kane, because he's going to spend half the game just on the halfway line, and the pressure just keeps coming back because you ain't got that outlet. Good defensive play by Rice. That did look a little threatening. Looked like Spain were going to try the intricate football, the 1-2s, but Rice read it, cleared it. But yeah, like I was saying, I think England they definitely need an outlet, because I don't. Yeah, Kane is one of like the best passers in the team, but who is he passing it to? Because Foden is not running off anyone really. Um, Bellingham is not a pacey He's not a speed pace merchant. He's not going to be running off anyone either. So it's just harder. It's just harder to kind of sustain that pressure. It's hard, and Spain and boxed in again. They lost. I mean, England were boxed in, and they lost the ball. But yeah, this is one of those games that he should have definitely. I know Kane is a captain, but he should not have played this game. Just so you can have something different to match up against, the Spanish team, because they have the outlets. There you go. Rice with the ball, no outlet. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Now, if you had someone like Watkins, he would have been running one of the channels, and you could just kind of like alleviate the pressure of your team. But you don't. Everything feels like it has to be intricate. Everything has to be close quarters, and it's hard for England right now. Spain, on the other hand, they can hit you with whatever option, really. They can go stretch the pitch with Yamal and Williams. Morata can run the channels. Their midfielders can push up. It's just they have the different kind of arsenal to really to hurt England. But it's still about 10 minutes in, it's still 0-0. So the longer it goes, the longer it happens like this or stays this way for England, the better they have a chance of, being able to have a moment of, individual brilliance. Bellingham can give you a winner. You can have your Cole Palmers coming off the bench. You can have your Watkins or your Tony giving you a different dimension. Uh, you can have Eze come in, really stretch the pitch for you. I mean, England has options, and arguably, I think they have better options in Spain when it comes to like their bench options. England's bench is stronger than Spain's. Um, and even if we're just looking on paper, England's starting 11 should be stronger than Spain, just on paper. But that's not the case. That's really not the case. So yeah, I think England really should. I think England should have dominated this Euros for sure, just based on the quality. Because if you look at like individual performances and just their outputs for their team during last year, Harry Kane alone got himself over like 40, goals and assists. Phil Foden probably got over 30. Cole Palmer had about 40 plus goals and assists. Saka had over 20 goals and assists, goal contributions. So they have just so many goal and assist contribution. But here's Williams, step over, good tackle, great tackle by Stones, great tackle. He made sure he didn't get sold on the step overs, and great tackle. Who's down? Is that Walker? Mhm. If he can continue, they have one of the best, one of the better attacking fullbacks on the pitch with Trent on the bench. So if Walker can continue, I think he should be fine though. That didn't look too bad of an injury. I mean, he just clashed with the coach, but Williams with the corner. Oh, wide. That was a chance. That definitely was a chance. That was a chance. Again, yeah, he was stretching for that. He was never really going to get that stretching. But that's the good thing about Spain. They have so many different options which they can hurt you. Don't be surprised if Rodri gets the winner in this game, because that's how good of a player Rodri really is. Like time and time again, he just bailed out Man City last year, time and time and time again. He's been so clutch. It's actually scary how good of a player he is. Time and time again. I would honestly, I think for me, this game, I see two people really scoring like important goals for Spain, and that's Rodri for me and Dani Olmo. And when you switch it over to England, I think Bukayo Saka and just for some reason Bellingham just looks like he could have that much of like an impact on this game like that when it comes to just a winner. So those are the two for me. If you're a betting person, go put your money on the two names I just gave you. And if you cash out, just let me know. Let me get a cut. Yeah, see, it's just there's really no outlet for England right now. No one is running. No one is breaking the lines. No one is running off defenders. No one is pulling defenders out of position. It's just all too like it's too in front of Spain. Like you're playing everything in front of them. It's easy to defend that way. Now, when you have them running back towards their goal, then you're in business. Then you could be a bit more dangerous. But this the lineup is just everyone wants the ball to feet. No one is really stretching the play. Look at where Harry Kane is. Should be busting a gut to get into the box. Walker with an overlap, defending. But that was a poor ball from Kyle Walker. And this is why you need someone like a Reece James or your Trent. Because that ball, they're just whipping that ball into a very dangerous area. Like the quality on that pullback was kind of poor. But again, when you look at this game in particular, you can't play Trent only because he will get exposed defensively, and you have to go with pound for pound your better defender. And fortunately and unfortunately for England, that's Kyle Walker. But Trent in this team, but then again, also Trent in this team wouldn't really work anyway because you don't have anyone really stretching the play. So he can't really spam those diagonals. He can't really cross the ball to anyone because no one is going to make the run. So either way, his play style will not fit this English team anyway. Now, if you had the likes of your Anthony Gordon starting this game, if you had your Oli Watkins, then what a back pass by Stones. If you had someone like an Oli Watkins in this game, then yeah, you can have Trent just try to just diagonals, just long, first time, all of these. But Saka has no overlap. He has to do it by himself. Blocked by Rodri. This is a good spell for England. Threatening, cross, Foden, cleared by Cucurella. Touch, Morata. Oh, yeah, Morata did like he did the hardest thing so easily, and then the next touch was just not good enough. But yeah, Saka, one on one with Cucurella. What can he do? Cut in. Foden, cleared Spain. There's Olmo. Imam. Throw into Spain. Ruiz. Now, Ruiz has really had an impressive tournament so far because even when I watched like PSG's, their Champions League run, he just looked like an okay player. Like he just, like the Jordan Henderson for Liverpool, just he kept everything going. He kept it simple. He just kept it moving. That was Brian Ruiz for me when I watched. Oh, wait, is his first name Brian? Let me see. But that was Ruiz for me when I watched PSG last year. He just looked like he kept it safe, just kept it moving, nothing too spectacular. He was just like effective. But in this Euros, he's just looked like a better player. Fabian Ruiz, not Brian. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ruiz. He just looked like a much better player at this tournament. So PSG, I don't know how long he has on his contract at PSG, but again, a lot of the big teams could be looking at someone like this. But he looks settled in France. I don't think he's going to be moving anytime soon. Let's see how long his contract is with PSG. Fabian Ruiz contract. Contract. Let's see. So he signed for PSG on August 30th, 2022. He signed a 5-year contract. So it's 2024. So his contract runs out to about 2026, 2027. No, I'm lying. 2027. So yeah, he's still got about 3 years on that contract. So he ain't going nowhere anytime soon, honestly. He isn't. Yeah, it expires June 30th, 2027. Yeah. PSG are in no rush to move him on. And there'll be no reason why PSG will need money to have to sell someone like this. Um, but yeah, but he's had a good tournament. Him, Rodri, Pedri to an extent, and they've just kept that team just moving, just kept it just going. And that move he did to take out about 3 or 4 players. I don't remember what game it was, but that was just disgusting. But Williams on the left. "20 minutes in, still 0-0. Spain, England. This is the final of the Euro 2024 um, competition, and for me, my favorite to win this game is Spain. Um, I just think they've been, on a whole, the most balanced team, the most effective team, the most pleasant team to watch. Aesthetically, they've been better, and also just output wise, they've been on point. Good ball, good shielding of the ball, good play, Menu, Foden. Just no, just no outlet for England, man. Just no outlet. Everything is so close quarters, ball to feet. I hope it doesn't really affect them, as the game goes on. But it's just no outlet, man. Just no outlet. Now, if England do win this though, um, then surely I think Southgate gets an extension to his contract. He stays for another tournament. I mean, why wouldn't you? Like you just won one of the biggest European trophies for your nation. Yes, you absolutely have to get rewarded for it. I mean, yeah, he's played Faso football for so long because a team with this much quality should not be. This is like, this is oh god, Morata, just just poor. A team with individuals like England's team should not be playing like prime Everton or like Burnley. They should be playing either they play some Man City esque football or you play some Liverpool esque football. They're both nice to watch and they're both kind of effective, but playing like prime Burnley with no, with all due respect to Burnley, but it's just ping pong. Nothing sticks. It's nasty to watch sometimes. This is our Man United football last year. Just disgusting to watch. just hard to just consume. But hey, it's effective. It works. If you play like this and you win the trophies, no one cares. If England are able to take it home, yeah, no one is going to care because the most important thing is they got there, they won it, and that's it. Go ball, clear, counter by England. Saka wins the foul. Yeah, I mean that's I wouldn't say that's a card offense. I mean, yeah, he did stop the counter, but I mean, I'm not giving a yellow card for this. I'm not giving a yellow card for this. Yeah, I'm not giving a yellow card for this. Strength by Mano. Good feet. Kane. Oh, Shaw. Cleared by Spain. Good hold up play by Morata again. That's that's not a foul. Okay. Mano, Kane. Kane gets the card. I didn't even see that. Studs showing. I see the yellow. Yeah, it's dangerous play. The impact didn't look as strong, but studs up. It's a dangerous tackle. I mean, could look short. If he went down and there was contact, but would it have been him looking more for the contact than the contact initiated by the defender? Who knows? It's 25 minutes in. It's still 0-0. Um, so it's been a slow start. Haven't really seen Yamal on the ball as much. Um, Williams has looked like he's tried to make things happen, but nothing as of yet. Still early. Still have a whole lot of the game to go. Switch. I do like the balance that Luke Shaw has offered to this England team, only because it's just the ball just moves a lot easier. You don't need Trippier taking about 6 years to have to turn, onto his stronger foot, which is his right foot. You just have a left center, a left back playing left back, and you just have more balance in your team. Okay, Spain threatening again. How about Al Ruiz? Save. Take it a deflection straight into Pickford's hands. That Spain team that won the Euros with did they beat Italy 4-0 in the final, I believe? That Spain team was just different. Like one of the first teams to just decide to go a whole tournament without a recognized number nine. Played like six midfielders, and they still just walked it with ease. But when you have players like Xavi, Iniesta, yeah, you don't need much. You had intelligent players like Cesc Fabregas, David Silva. You didn't really, creativity was never a problem, and technique and finishing was not a problem either. They could play midfielders and attack and still win. And I think they had the likes of like Pedro, Juan Mata. They had Fernando Torres on the bench. You had your thing. There's Xabi Alonso was playing in that midfield as well. I mean, it's just it was very unfair. It was unfair what that Spain team could do. Um, about 30 minutes in, I don't think I've seen a shot on target from both teams just yet. It's been still been kind of cagey. Um, both teams kind of playing with the handbrake on. It's a handball. Still a handball by Rice. Now, I would have given a card for that. Jude is playing this like makeshift, almost like left wing, and I don't think that's really his strength. I mean, don't get it wrong. Good players always find a way to make uncomfortable situations work, but just I would that's just not his strongest position. You know, he's an eight to me. He should play the eight. Left wing's not his thing. Um, yeah, he did play the 10 for Madrid, but again, Madrid is Madrid. They will always create chances in abundance. Vinny, Rodrigo, Cruz, Modric, Valverde, they create chances galore. So when you play in that position, you can arrive and you can be a late arrival in the box. He scored a lot of goals, but that's the difference. Madrid has that just that style. They have the consistency of being able to just always find you. Like Vinny always wants to make something happen. Vinny takes so many defenders out of the game. He creates a lot of space for the likes of your Bellinghams, your Valverde's to crash the box. But with England, I just don't see him working well in that role just because the creativity is different. If anything, he's being looked at as the one who needs to be creative for the team. And he's not that type of player. He's got a good engine on him. He can do a lot of everything. Just not creative enough. And for those wing positions, the number 10 positions, you need a different skill set. You need a different skill set. And I don't think that the position he's playing now suits his skill set. Corner again to Spain. Oh, it's not. Rice wasn't even looking to play the ball. He was just yeah, but I think Laporte looked like he went down too easy for me though. Went down way too easy. There's nothing really in there. There's really nothing in that. Corner to Spain, 34 minutes in, still 0-0. Is there a break on? I don't think Mainu's beating Almo in that foot race. I don't think he is. Good recovery by Almo. Rodri. Yamal. Ruiz. Cucurella. Williams. That's just poor from Williams, man. You only have one number 9 in the box. None of you don't really have that much of an aerial threat. So why just cross that in first time? Just keep the play going. That was poor. I'm curious to see the possession stats right now. Let's see. Let's see what the possession stats are saying. So 67% possession to Spain, about 33 to England. Spain has 4 shots compared to England's 1, 5 corners to England's 1. Still 0-0. That's the most important thing. The scoreboard. That was a good tackle to keep the attack going. Bellingham has the ball. Just lost it again. Just Like Morata is like one of the best. Like when it comes to just pure headers of a ball I've seen. Like this guy did it for my club. He could barely score with his feet, but when it came to like headers, yeah, he was money on it. And all these crosses that seem to have been played into his path have just been overhead, underhead, just nothing really he can go on to attack. But when it just comes to one of the best headers of the ball, he really is one of the best. Like he could score you like 15 goals a season, and like 10 will be just straight headers. That's the kind of striker he is. Good recovery, Walker, Rice, Foden, Saka, Walker, Stones, Walker, Foden, Stones. Nice drop off the shoulder into midfield. Yep. Nah, it took too long for that pass. Took way too long. Took way too long to play that ball through. Williams, Yamal. So far, Luke Shaw has been able to keep Yamal quiet. Just got to see for how long he can keep doing that. Cucurella. Surely Cucurella goes into team of the tournament when it comes to left backs. Surely he goes in there. Touch. Bellingham just looks tired. Okay, Rice, Kane. Is the break on? Bellingham lost possession again. But won it back to Kane. Switch to Saka. Walker. I should have played that. I should have played that ball to the overlap, man. Now here comes Spain with Williams. Yeah, Williams reminds me too much of Hudson Odoi, man. Just too much. Play style the same. Let me check something real quick. I want to see during Hudson Odoi's best ever season for Chelsea how many assists he had. Morata, good defending. Good defending. Mhm. So about 44 minutes into this game, still 0-0. Uh, I mean, not much to really pick out of this game. Spain have had most of the possession, but it's been possession without any real intent. That's not a foul. Kane, block. I look like a tied. I look like a tie shot. That's a foul. It is a push. Rodri again with the block. Oof. Looked like he could have probably hurt himself there, but good block. Chance for Foden. That's a chance. It's a shot on target. Yeah, your mom's not beating Kyle Walker when it comes to pace for pace. Walker still has that rapid recovery. So halftime approaching. And it's halftime. It's still 0-0. Takeaways from this game. Nothing in particular, really. It's been Spain has had most of the ball. England has defended deep for the most part. And I kept saying England just doesn't have an outlet to really trouble Spain. Everything is ball to feet. Everything is the pitch is not being stretched enough by England, and Spain's defenders are comfortable. Like the whole time they can see Harry Kane right in front of them, so that makes their job already easier. Now, if you have someone running off the defenders, someone running the channels, now you give them something else to think about. Um, but so far, it's been yeah, it's I mean it's been a good game. Nothing crazy to report, but it's still been pretty steady. I think second half we see what changes Spain makes. We see what changes Southgate also makes. See if he combats what Spain do. Um, but it's been yeah, it's been that kind of game. Yep. Even on Twitter, you can see people kind of having the same consensus. Just bring Cole Palmer and Ollie Watkins in. I think those two, those two would definitely give you a different outlet. Um, but I don't think it's it's that time yet. I don't think it is. It's not that time yet. Yeah, Harry Kane has only completed 5 passes this whole game. Jeez, it's given that Endrick performance for Brazil. But yeah, Luke Shaw has definitely Luke Shaw has definitely kept Yamal quiet. I think if it was Trippier, that might be a different conversation. I think Shaw is still much quicker than Trippier, so he's been able to essentially keep. And Shaw is a good defender too. Don't get it wrong. Shaw is a good defender, so he's been able to keep Yamal quiet. And England are going to need more of that in the second half, as long as he can go the whole 90 minutes um, without you know having to come off. I do think like once the Euros are done though, and Copa America as well, I think we're going to see a lot more just transfers. Here we goes. Your Ornsteins are going to be given as potentially like a daily upload every day because I think preseason starts in like a week or so. So after this Euros, we're gonna see who gets big moves, um, who stays, who gets a new deal, because that's another option too. Players leave, they have a good tournament, the clubs decide, you know what, I might as well give you a new deal with better terms before the big boys come looking, trying to sign you. But another player that I want to talk about really quickly was the Dewey guy from Lille, and I watched some of his compilations, and like the player he reminds me of so much is Philippe Coutinho. I don't know, it's his dribbling style, just the way he's able to just it's that quick, change of pace. He reminds me a lot of Coutinho, but Lille are asking for about 50 million euros or was it pounds? And when it comes to a certain player, like if you take someone like Yamal, if Barcelona put 80 million pounds on Yamal as his release clause, I think most people are not going to argue about his age. They're just going to say his quality, pay it. It's just certain players that are like that. They have the quality. Doesn't matter how old they are. They just can ball. So it's just, but Dewey just kind of looks like the type of player to me that would look good in League One and might struggle to do the adaptation when he moves somewhere else. But when you see just like again, compilations make mediocre players look really good. But it's just you have to see something that you can potentially work with. Now he looks aesthetically pleasing, Would that be able to translate into better numbers, consistency? I'm not sure, but for that price, no. At least with Yamal, like we've seen him have good games for Barcelona last season. So you can look at it from his experience with Barcelona to the Euros, and he's been consistent for the most part. But a lot of these, guys who just pop out of nowhere, again, just because we don't know of them doesn't mean that they're not good. But for the most part, when people don't really know a lot about you, it's hard to gauge, how much people could think you're potentially worth. Now, could he be someone who could go for 50 million euros and still just kick on? Absolutely. Everyone has the ability as long as they have the platform, and he looks like someone that could add something to your team. Doesn't look like a finisher. He looks more of like someone to get you off your feet. He looks exciting. So whoever decides to spend that much money on him, well, hopefully it does work out for the most part. But it's still pretty quiet. Nothing to report, guys. Give me 1 second, people. I will be right back. See if the second half is going to start soon. Okay. Whoa. Wait, what's happened to Rodri? Has it been taken out of this game? Oh yeah. I think Rodri must have picked an injury or something because Zubamendi's coming in. I think for the longest time. Yeah, Rodri's out. Zubamendi's coming in. I think he's one guy that Arsenal fans have been looking to see their club purchase, Zubamendi, and now they get an opportunity to see him live and see the quality that they've been hoping he has. But Rodri not playing is huge for Spain right now. I think England should really take this as an opportunity to just that right now that midfield England should already have enough confidence to go into that midfield now, thinking, okay, now we can actually control this midfield. Because Rodri not being there is that's a big, big, big thing for Spain, actually. So England should, I think England should capitalize on this. See if they do. But second half begins. Still 0-0. If you're just tuning in, Rodri's out of this game. Not sure what the injury was. But again, if Zubamendi is the player that Arsenal fans have been saying he is, then this should not be a bad substitution to come into the game. It's just there's no other player that could do it like Rodri. Rodri, provides you just like N'Golo Conte in a way. Rodri provides you with like two players in that midfield. He provides you with a different level of control and comfortability and just safety that the other guys don't even have to really do much because they know he's good enough to play that role. But let's see what Zubamendi has. Go ball to Yamal. Williams, 1-0. And just like that, Spain take the lead. Yamal straight to Williams. It's 1-0 Spain. And that was cracking. Just like I had said, the danger men for Spain are going to be their wide areas. Yamal, Williams, Rodri's out, but that's not stopping Spain. And I believe this is Yamal's either third or fourth assist. And if Spain do win this, he definitely should be winning both player and young player of the tournament because he has been heads and shoulders above everyone else in this competition for a 17-year-old. The first instinct will be to reverse that ball to Morata, but no, he took another touch, went in, and played the perfect pass to Williams. The weight of the pass was brilliant. Just gave him the opportunity to just run onto the ball and finish first time. And it's 1-0 Spain, 47 minutes in. Yeah. Yamin Lamar has 3 assists. I believe it's three before today. Um, so if this is no, actually, he has four now. I think Yamal has 4 assists. So yeah, he's definitely taking the best. He's definitely taking the best young player, guaranteed. I'd give him the best player of the tournament. He really has been the best player of the tournament, hands down. Yeah, I'll give Yamal the best and young player because he has been the best player at the tournament, and he's been the best young player at the tournament. So I'll give it to him. What can England do over here, though? I think if anything, Southgate has to. He would have to start making changes as soon as possible. Maybe give it like another 10, 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and then just bring your Palmers, your Watkins. I'll bring those guys on because now you need a different outlet because Kane is not really giving you anything in this game. To be honest, it's really not. Where's the help for Saka? Where's the overlap? Where's the underlap? Like, no, Foden has to give him that underlap. Manu, Rice, Bellingham, Walker, Cross. That that just was that was just bad. That was just bad. Spain so far, Spain doesn't look like they're really missing um, Rodri because again they're keeping so much of the ball. England really hasn't made them uncomfortable as of yet, so they could just do this ball straight to Williams, but no, they could just always bypass England's press. Yeah, that was Zubimendi. You know, once this game is over, there's going to be calls being made to Edu to send in the bid for Zubimendi. You already know it's going to happen. I mean, Zubamendi, and he does look like a very tidy player in midfield. Doesn't look like he's going to give the ball away. Uh, yeah, not a bad sub to make when you take out Rodri. Morata, why would you even take the shot on? See, and that's my problem. Again, he chose the wrong option again. Could have just played that ball straight to Williams. Like you're not that kind of goal scorer, especially from the area of the pitch you decided to shoot from. Morata is more of a box. He's not the cleanest of finishes when it doesn't come to him heading the ball in. But that was just a poor option to choose. That was more selfish than anything. Yamal ball chip again. Poor finishing. Poor finishing. Poor finishing. That should have been 2-0 Spain, and that should have been game over. That should have been game over. Spain win it. Williams. Oh, good effort. That was a good effort. That was a good effort. Morata should have scored. Just dinked it over the goalie. 2-0. Cucurella with the high press, aggressive press. Still one of the best defenders from this tournament. And if Spain do go on and win it, I think a lot of the team of the tournament will consist of a lot of Spanish players. I think that midfield, Ruiz, Rodri, I mean, it's been clutch. Almost should be in there as well. Carvajal should be the defender. L- Yamin Lamar should be one of the wingers. Williams is probably going to make it in there. Uh, just quality all over the pitch. Quality all over the pitch. They've had the better defense throughout the tournament. I mean, hence why they're in the final. I think, yeah, the team of the tournament is really going to be heavily Spanish for sure. And they've deserved it. They've been the best team. They've been more clinical than anyone. And now the change is about to be made for Ollie Watkins. I'm going to assume Harry Kane is coming out unless he decides to go for a two-man midfield. I know he's not taking Bellingham off the pitch. Probably would he take off Saka? Probably not. Would he take off Shaw? Potentially. I mean, you could just put Saka in the Shaw role. Um, but I think that's too early for that kind of tactical switch. But then again, I don't really think it is because you need more offensive quality on the pitch at this point. I mean, it's 57 minutes in, Spain is still leading, but it's getting to that point where England has to start to look at the other options, alternatives to trying to at least level the game. And what I've just noticed in the last few minutes, well, I'll reserve that before I say anything, but it's just looked like Spain took the handbrake off just a little bit. Um, but no, they're still applying pressure. I think them getting the second goal really just kills it for England. I don't see England coming back only because they really have they've not been as fluent offensively. They've scored goals, yes, but they've they've just left it late most of the time, and to have to score two more goals to just come back would be, I think it will be a long road for England. I don't see how they get back into this game. I think this game is calling for it's really calling for the likes of like Anthony Gordon, your Ezes, because these guys can stretch the pitch. They can take on players 1v1. They can they're more dangerous, they can create. Because now you kind of have to give Williams and Yamal, you give them the choice to, and there's no strike in the box. And that's the problem. But you want Yamal and Williams, running back towards their own goal, if anything. Because right now they haven't really had to defend a lot. Williams hasn't had to come back defensively as often. Yamal hasn't really had to because there's really not been any pressure. Everything on that flank has been defended by Carvajal by himself. He's won a lot of his tackles already. But if you bring someone like an Eze in, then you give him a choice. They have to pay attention to whatever's going on behind them now. You give yourself a chance to, overload the other side. You could do a lot, really. See, now I know Watkins is a player I've been calling for to come on now. He can stretch the pitch for you a bit. He can give you that option to go long. He'll run the channels. But even with someone like Watkins, you need someone to facilitate that. You need someone to pass him the ball. You need someone to find him with those passes. Um, so you do need. I'll bring Cole Palmer on. I'll bring Trent on at this point. I bring Palmer, bring Trent, and then now you just give yourself a chance to see what you could do. And Saka hasn't really been given the opportunity to like run against his defender as often in this game. So you give him the chance to take on his man. He wins you a free kick in a very dangerous position. And I think that's how it really should be. Should be. Turn, shoot, wide, still off target. I would play that ball to Watkins for sure. I think so far England's only shot on target was a Phil Foden effort where he was falling backwards. But other than that, there's been nothing to really report. Which again, if you're gonna just like take Kane off, see, but that's the option with Watkins. He gives you the ability to stretch the pitch. But now, if you're just gonna take Kane off a few minutes into the second half, why did you even start him to begin with? Because again, he in 40, 50 minutes, he offers you absolutely nothing anyway. So how worse would that next person have done? Because what could have happened was you could have given yourself an opportunity to just unsettle Spain, just that that just that little bit. But you've Spain has gotten comfortable. They're confident. They already have the one goal advantage. Now they could just sit off. They can sit off, wait, and hit you on the counter. It's England's burden to break Spain down. But again, we know Spain is not just going to camp back in their half. They're going to try and score again. But I just think he shouldn't have played ball to your mom. What a save. What a save. That ball should have been played slightly ahead of your mom. I mean, he still checked back and just bam. Any more into that corner, it's 2-0. And Spain are looking really comfortable, but it's a great save. Big hand by Pickford. He's just kept England in this competition, but they still need to score. Okay, Foden. Yep, it's a good change for Spain because Morata's had a few good moments in this game. Hold up play's been good. He's been able to make the ball stick just a bit better, but I think Oyazabal might give you just a bit more, just give you that slight bit more quality up there. And even with Spain, they could have just moved. They could have just moved Dani Olmo into the striker position and just brought in another midfielder, and they would have just still had that good balance. But and I think them, who knows, maybe they might still push him up there. But it looks like Oyarzabal might be playing as the striker, and Spain have been dispossessed. Yamal corner Spain. Um, he's not the he doesn't look like the quickest. Oyarzabal, he doesn't look like the quickest, but if he if he can retain the ball about a lot better than Morata, then I think you're not really missing. And that's the thing, like Morata didn't offer you anything extremely potent where this guy coming in wouldn't give you similar. Cross by Zubimendi, cleared by Meno. Ruiz, off target. Yeah, Leaning back slightly. England making another change. Kobe Mainu. Is that Cole Palmer coming in? Okay. Cole. I wouldn't have taken out Mainu, honestly, but so far in that midfield, he's kind of probably looked the only, you know, the only one in there who's been comfortable. Rice hasn't looked as comfortable in this midfield. But Watkins, that was a chance. Just wasted that. Good, yeah, good interception by Cucurella. Saka. Ruiz. Caballero. Almo. You know, the bad thing for England right now too is that Spain have people who are comfortable on the ball, so they could just keep possession and just keep the ball moving, and just have you chasing, just wearing you out. Because all these guys on the pitch look like they're comfortable on the ball. They look like they could just keep playing for a while. So, but now England has another option. You have Cole Palmer, you have Bukayo Saka now. I still personally would have taken off Bellingham for this game. I would have. I would have taken Bellingham off this game. Brought an actual left winger. I'll give Gordon, I'll give Eze a chance just to be able to create something from wide. You know, give Spain something different to look at. It's never going to score from that angle. Palmer, ball to Saka. What can it create from here? Palmer. Oh, cold. Palmer. Yeah. And just like that, it's 1-1. It's cold. Cold Palmer. See? Oh, man. You know, for me, any team that wins this game right now, I'm equally as comfortable because now Cole Palmer starts this move to Saka. Saka does really well. Bellingham with the layoff. Palmer with the finish. And that is why he is Cole Palmer. Yeah, he doesn't just score penalties, people. The guy has technique. He can finish. And when England needs someone, it's Cole Palmer to the rescue. Now, look at Southgate is looking like the biggest tactical out there. You bring in players with good quality, you get quality results. Now, Bellingham gave that assist, so all is forgiven now. I wouldn't have taken it. Now, I wouldn't take Bellingham off. But again, you've given Spain something to just look at. Now, on that left side, you can have Saka, you can have Cole Palmer in your 10, just like in those spaces. Even if they have to like rotate, Palmer can play out wide, Saka can come in. But this is what happens when you try something that is not working. Like this whole thing was not working for England. Now look, England has now their tails are up, and that's what Palmer can do. He sees a pass, he plays it. Now Saka, now England's tails are up. Now they're confident. And now it's rocking. It's rocking. Now it's rocking. Again, with Palmer, I would have started if I was Southgate, I would have started Palmer, but I understand that's not a change you want to make. But with Harry Kane, I definitely would have played Ollie Watkins just because you have someone who, again, like I said, is stretching the pitch for you, like someone who gives Spain something else to think about. And just like that, England have a lifeline, and it's been the star boy Cole Palmer again. This dude has he's just had such a good season, and for him to not even start any of these games has been nothing short of disgraceful. But it's a team sport. You come in, you do your best. He came in last game, provided the match winning assist to Ollie Watkins, and today is leveled it for Spain. I mean, he's leveled it for England. I'm sorry, what I just said. But now England look like a much the balance looks much better. They look like they're lining up in a 4-1-4-1 um, formation, which again without Rodri, I think you can take those liberties. You can kind of take that risk because Rodri's not mopping up. He's not just holding that midfield by himself because now it's different. It's Zubamendi, it's Ruiz, and it's Olmo. That's not a three they've played all tournament at all. So now you can find a little bit of joy. Nice touch by Cucurella. But now you can find a little bit of joy because that midfield isn't what it is. The balance is different. I mean, the quality is still there, but you went from Rodri, Ruiz, and Pedri to now it's Supermendi, Ruiz, and Olmo. So that cohesion is slightly disturbed just because of Rodri's absence, but at least England can take more of like they can push up more and know that they can get some joy behind that midfield. But 77 minutes in, it's still 1-1. Um, People like the video, support the channel, subscribe to the channel. I need you guys to just like it. It's good for the algorithm, so more content can come. Oh, more content can come out, and it just pushes it for more people to see. But Spain on the attack. Good defending by Stones. England really have been given a lifeline here. Um, Maybe like some 10 odd minutes ago, it just looked like Spain were just going to just stay comfortable, stay compact, just win this game. But he's made two changes, and so far, one has worked. And I think just Watkins just gives you that extra bit of like relief. Todd Bowley, make the call, man. Give them Conor Gallagher, give them some money, get me Watkins. Because I know he can guarantee me at least 15 goals. 15 goals gets me at least another 8, 9 points, 10 points, maybe. Because 15 goals, that's what? To get 10 points, that's really 3 games, and that's like 3 wins in a draw. Yeah, this guy can definitely win me 3 games just on his own, minimum. So please make that call happen. It's not from the Euros. This is just watching him, for Aston Villa in the league, and He's one of those guys who can be very wasteful, but he still scores you goals at the end of the day. Still scores you goals. So that's kind of a this is a player you should have in your team. You definitely should. Cole Palmer to the rescue. Listen, if England going to win it, you got to give Cole Palmer for me man of the match. Just brought them back. 80 minutes. It's 1-1, England and Spain. Now, what changes should the Spain coach make though? They don't their bench really isn't the best, honestly. Because if England can go on their bench right now, they can still bring on Ivan Tony, they can still bring on Eze, they can still bring on Gordon, and potentially maybe like Adam Morton. But that's still a solid three, four players you can still bring to your team from like an English standpoint. I'm standing at five. Williams is going to cut in. He's going to try to take a shot. Almo, Yamal, good save, Pickford. That's a big save. Keeping England in this. Spain are really turning on the pressure right now. Spain are piling on the pressure. In the defending um, well. Shape is good. Spain moving the ball side to side. Cabal, Ruiz. Should play that ball to Yamal. Cabal. Back to Neymar. That's Zubamendi to Williams on the left. Win by Walker to throw into England. About 8 minutes to go. So Spain are making a change. I think Nacho coming in. That shot was still straight at Pickford. Any of the corners, and that's 2-1 Spain. And maybe this might be that time when you can look at your mom's like inexperience to a point because a senior pro goes either far post or near post. He went straight at the goalie. But again, it still needed to be saved, and Pickford did his thing. I know like Watkins is in, and England is trying to go long, but these the balls are just being overhit. It's just there's no way he's winning those aerial duels. To Williams, to Yamal, Cabal, Ruiz, good defending, Foden, Yamal, Williams. Oh, that almost turned into a great touch by Almo and then Williams. Corner to Spain. Takes it. Defended by Stones. Cleared by Saka. Oh, good save out. Pickford. Nice. Okay. Now, since that goal, England have looked a much better team. They've looked a lot better since they went behind. They haven't had as much of the ball, but the shape has been good. I mean, can it be deja vu again with Watkins scoring the goal again? What a ball, Cucurella, and that's 2-1 Spain. It's 2-1 Spain. What a ball! What a ball! You know, this Chelsea boys are shining this tournament. Palmer with the big equalizer, Cucurella with that ball to potentially be the match winner for Spain. This defenders were sleeping. Defenders were caught sleeping. What a ball and what a finish. And that's the difference between Oyarzabal and Morata. Morata, does he potentially finish that chance? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, he's on side. He looks on side. He looks on side. I think either it was a Gay or um Walker was playing him on by the toe. He looks on side. Ah, the goal's been confirmed. He did look on side. Okay. Looks like Tony is gonna come in. England are gonna go against. That was a good ball. That was a really good ball. I don't think he saw that pass coming in. First touch let him down. First touch let him down. Folding off Tony in. And this is it, guys. This is all or nothing for England right now. This is all or nothing for England. Yamal coming off from Marino. That's another Arsenal target. I think plays for Real Sociedad. Can England can England get another equalizer? Can England really take this game to extra time? Rice, Gay. Oh, cleared off the line. Wow. Almost, almost an equalizer. Damn. 4 additional minutes. It's 90th minute. Spain 2, England 1. Um, these 4 minutes are going to look and feel like an eternity for Spain. And for England, it's going to move so fast. It's going to be so short. Oh, man. It's a terrible ball. This is it, guys. This is all or nothing. Man, Saka, come on. Yeah, Spain are going to waste as much time as possible. I guess in the end, people, the best team won. Spain are 3 minutes away from winning Euro 2024. And, I would say it's been well deserved. The best team has. Wait, why is Morata crying already? Final whistle ain't even gone yet. Okay, don't lose that ball. Don't lose that ball. Two minutes. 2 minutes for England to really just see if they can pull this back. Just to, 'Yeah, that's an elbow. It's a foul. Yeah, yo, he was the knee. Stones' knee just played him on side. Stones' knee played him on side. About a minute, Spain are going. I kind of feel bad for England, man. I really, I did want England to win, but I just always had a feeling Spain were always going to be favorites. I did say that Spain, going into this tournament alongside Germany, Spain, I believe France, were like three of the teams I really did look at and go, I think they would. And it's over, guys. Spain are Euro 2024 winners. And yeah, England did their best, honestly. They pulled it back, but it was a yeah, that assist by Cucurella was all it took. It takes a moment to lose a game of this magnitude, and the best team won. It is unfortunate because England did eventually get to the final. All these other teams haven't really performed well at all. So they did well to get to the final, but they just fell short. They just fell short. Spain have won the Euros again. And yeah, this is England. I mean, England did put up a brave fight. But yeah, that wasn't enough. I think again, Yamal for me should win both player and young player of the tournament. He has to be able to win both. It shouldn't be one or the other. He has been the best player at this tournament. 1 goal, 4 assists, um, a big assist in the final. Definitely one of the best creators. And I believe the golden shoe probably goes to Danny Elmo because he has 3 goals and he has 2 assists as well. So, and his team just won the Euro. So I believe he also gets that. So Spain are cleaning house. They think Unai Simone is taking goalkeeper of the tournament, potentially Golden Gloves. Yeah, Spain are the winners. And we're gonna have the Argentina Colombia watch along around 7 as well. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can cover that game as well. But Spain are champions. They've done it. Morata crying is very odd, but I know it's tears of joy, man. He's happy. But my guy was crying even before the game ended. But you could just imagine the emotions, the feeling. Um, yeah, they are the best team. They are the best team. And Cucurella with that game winning assist. Now he can have a little vacation, join the team, come back with a a championship medal, come back confident because he's had a great tournament. He has had a really good tournament. So go on your well deserved break, come back refreshed, energized, confident to go again. Easily one of the best, if not the best, left back at the tournament. Easily one of those. And well deserved. Well deserved. Because he's like one player who you would have thought wouldn't get a look in when it came to even like the squads being selected. Most people would have looked at Grimaldo. Most people would have looked at other defenders ahead of Cucurella. But he has managed to just not only get selected, keep a spot in the team, and he's been one of the best defenders, one of the best players at this tournament. And hopefully he does come back, like I said, ready to go. He's a champion now. He's a champion. It only bodes well when you have champions in your team because now the standard has to be, up there. But yeah, people, it's been a ride. I'm gonna end the stream now. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and just like that. Spain have done it. England are out. Peace.